Article 13 was passed earlier this week in the European Parliament, and I don't want to sensationalise or exaggerate too much, but this could be the end of the internet as we know it. And by that I mean memes could die. If you weren't aware, Article 13 is a section of the new copyright law that's coming from the EU, which states that large technology companies are responsible for the material posted without a copyright license. Now, on the face of it, this seems fine, to be honest. It doesn't seem that bad. But as everyone on YouTube knows, the Content ID system and copyright in general on YouTube is fucked, and their system gets it wrong and abused almost all the time. So what people are worried about is that companies like YouTube, like Facebook and like Twitter will create even bigger and more stringent content identification systems, which could possibly just end up with more stuff incorrectly taken down. So this could mean YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or any of those, or any of the big websites, the big ones, the big guys. They could just come along and be like, you know what, it's the problem's on us now, and we have to get rid of copyrighted content. So we're not going to risk getting done for you having 3 seconds of an in-betweeners clip in your video. Well, we're just going to take that down, mate, or claim the whole thing. Chris MD is fucked.
Of course I am.
Now, obviously, there are some pretty clear exemptions, like parody, for example. So you're like, oh, that's great, that's fine then. It's not that bad. But I don't know if you've noticed, but have you ever known a company or one of those scummy little companies that their sole purpose, their sole business model is to go around and copyright claim stuff to earn royalties back? One of those companies. Have you ever known one of those to, just not abuse the system and claim fucking everything? Have you ever known that? Because I reckon it will just probably get worse. Have you ever seen one of those companies apply common sense to anything? Or just think, just have a little thought and be like, you know what, is that bad? They've used a couple seconds of the thing and it's in their work, it's just taken it's fine. It's genuinely fine. Use your brain. I reckon they might abuse that system just a wee bit more, don't you? Now, in a previous video, I suggested that the best way to avoid Content ID is to make your own music. Shane Dawson, he likes cats. Make your own cutaways. Oh. Ooh. And the similar solution applies here. Recreate your own memes. So, in amidst this potential meme epidemic, I've decided to recreate all your YouTubers' most loved and most used memes so they can use them. Alright, I give away the copyright of these recreated memes to all of you. Enjoy.
2 hours later.
No! 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 Ooh, you're wrong. Show it off, because it's great banter. It really is. Oh, Neil. Well, that was fucking dreadful. The problem with this whole thing is the ambiguity of it all. No one knows how it will be implemented. You know that meme? With the bloke being like... You know that one? That's actually a stock photo that you need to license. This article essentially says that Twitter may be forced to just take that down. They might just have to take it down because no one's bought the license for that, have they? But everyone uses it. It's shared bloody everywhere. So what people are worried about essentially is the killing of memes of stuff like that. You haven't attributed the original author and you definitely haven't bought the license. Twitter might have to take down your meme. Mental. How and if this will actually happen in practice is yet to be seen. Each EU country has 2 years to implement it into their own laws in sort of like their own way. So for now, all we can really do is sit and wait. And if you're thinking, oh, Brexit, I've got a pint, I've got a bulldog, and I've got a sly undertone of racism. Let's leave the EU. Look, they're bastard men. All the EU laws, when we leave, or if we leave, will transfer over to us. And I don't know about you lot, but I believe old people who don't understand the internet and also really like money, also run the UK. So I reckon they might keep that law. I don't know about you boys, but I reckon that's a pretty safe bet. Once again, this boils down to greedy old people in positions of power who have come to the joint conclusion that they really, really like money. And that they also want to just keep shafting the internet and everyone on it. Genuinely, I think the only people who should be allowed to table motions, put forward legislation, or just talk about anything to do with the internet should be people who are 25 and younger. I have no idea about the logistics of that or how that would bloody work. How would it work? I don't know. Just, pop round and ask me. Just be like, should we do this with the internet? I'll be like, you know what? That's probably a bad idea. I'm on the internet all the time. I even have my own subreddit. And so I know stuff, but seriously, each one of those MEPs or anyone in power should not be allowed to talk about changing anything about the internet unless they pass some sort of internet culture test, like a dead meme test. They should be shown memes and they should point out which ones are dead memes. And I guarantee you, 99% of those old bastards would look at the memes, look at the ones with they'd point at Scumbag Steve and be like, that's funny, that's definitely still funny. Text at the top and the bottom, yeah, that never dies, that's really good. If you can't spot the dead meme, you should not be allowed to have an opinion or a say on the internet. Randolph actually tweeted a very good point that everyone's guilty of all the time, including me, including literally absolutely everyone, even my cat. Even my cat's guilty of this, and she's been dead for over a year. I'm still quite upset about it. I miss you, Claude. Come back. It's fine, she's at the bottom of my garden, I know where she is. No one cares about these things until they're actually passed, is what Randolph's saying. And that's true, we need to do more than sign bloody petitions. They don't actually work that much. 6 million signed that one. Hasn't done anything. Looks cool though, but it's probably not going to do anything, is it? When I was about 10, people came down our street to get us to sign a petition so we didn't allow a Tesco to move in on the high street because we thought it would kill the little shop. Loads of people signed it. We still got the Tesco. I still went to the Tesco because it was much cheaper and better than the shop. The shop's still there, but no one goes in the shop. They go to the Tesco. So obviously we need to do more than just sign a bloody petition online. It won't do much. We actually need to be proactive as a community and sort of come together, because otherwise we're just going to get shafted and shafted. Instead of waiting for someone to table a motion and be like, oh, I'm gonna proper fuck the internet with this one, we need to get ahead of it and just be like, right, this isn't good. There's nothing saying that we can't be shafted. We should all get together and put pressure on someone to make a law to stop us from being shafted. Rather than waiting for someone to come up with something to shaft us and trying to fight it. Just get in there early. It's always good to be early. Apart from when you're making love. Ooh. Why have I don't know. But for now, I assume the best way to combat this is just to adapt or die. That's usually how people get around stuff. That's all it from me for now. I feel free to use the memes. I give you the copyright for my memes. Take them. Take them away. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's just great. I bloody love it. I love when I see that number go up. It gives me, a lot of blood rushes to another part of my body. That's what I'm trying to say. Not an erection, okay? I have a condition. I've got a leak in my foot and the blood just keeps coming out. What am I saying? Apart from that, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And just a word of advice, go make something you love. Unless it involves a copyrighted meme. In that case, your content will be removed almost immediately. Women in general. I love women. Specifically women. Ones in general, women. I love women. You know who doesn't? Shane Dawson. He likes cats.